GANN levels sound complicated, right? Well, when you think about pyramids, squares, astrology, for many years it was been shrouded in mystery. Many traders think that you need a PhD to understand it, which makes sense. W.D. GANN was a genius, but he had a lot of mystical stuff going on. What if I told you that to use GANN levels effectively in your day trading, you only need to understand 3 simple things. So you forget about complex math, forget about ancient secrets. Today I'm going to demystify GANN and show you how to start using its powerful levels on your chart. And you can start today. So you can look here. So I break this down into 3 main levels that I look at. This kind of highlighted level is what I call a major GANN level. And then you have these dotted ones, or mid level. They're good for take profit and can be good for entries. And then you have main GANN levels. So basically you just have 3 things that, again, so get rid of all that stuff. So if you're just, this is almost like a naked chart to me. It's just price action, right? And I like to use a 3-minute chart. 1 minute can be kind of noisy. So as you see, you can actually wait. You could wait for a double bottom at a GANN level. You could wait for an engulfing candle. You could use, you can see this one's losing a little bit here. Market is kind of selling off. And that's what I like about GANN. So you can see my entry actually. This is not really a great entry. Why? Look, my entry on this example, going right into a mid, right? So that's not, anyway, you can call it a loss. Anything can happen. So ideally what you're trying to do is you're trying to get an entry either if it sells below 26, so we had 26, 231, or let's say this candle holds, then we'll go back long. So you can see your goal is to trade near these GANN levels, and you could have taken a short at this mid, scalping down to the major GANN. I definitely don't like going short right into, like, so it breaks this and does a kind of a cool, I'm always looking for a break, retest. That's my favorite type of trade. Then it goes back down, right? Or in this case, if you're just waiting for confirmation to go long, you're looking for, like, it touched here, bounced up, and now we're getting kind of a retracement down. So get rid of those. So yeah, we're looking at this 31, just keeping an eye on it. And you can use micros to really trade levels the best. That way you don't get burned too bad. If a trade idea doesn't work. It's a powerful grid system, right? And it's all based on what GANN created. But I kind of quoted it in a different way. So yeah, the biggest thing, because we know where we want to trade. Now the question is when. Are you going to wait for? So you can take a trade right at the level. Let me get in, and then that's kind of the aggressive approach. But what I like about GANN, for the most part, you know where your stop should be. If it goes below, too much below, you want to give it a little bit of breathing room. See it's breaking below a little bit. So you know that this is this area, right? So we know where. Now the question is, what kind of confirmation do you want to use? I like price action. I like, double tops, double bottoms. I like engulfing candles. And sometimes flat out, I'm looking left. And when you look left, you can see there's a lot of buy orders here. Hence, kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy that I've talked about in many videos. So you can keep it really basic. You don't need to have a million things in your chart. Probably the biggest thing is just trading with the right size of your account and then not over trading an area. So you can see how I can move my stop up a little bit, reduce my risk a little bit. And in this case, it all depends what you want to do. You can, if you're at a level, you can scalp to a mid, right? That's one trade idea. And then another idea, you can add a couple of contracts, and then really bread and butter is GANN to mid GANN is really good. As you can see here, you could have scalped mid to GANN. Not my favorite trades, but you can see how it works. And so then let's say you had two contracts on here. Definitely you take one contract off here, and then in that case you'd move your second contract to break even, and then you're shooting for, take profit in this area, which I do all the time, which I did at the open. My opening trade, I was catching basically a GANN to GANN, and a lot of times I will reference GANN to GANN even though it's on the mid GANN. But again, to me, GANN gives you that roadmap of where to be right. So you know where you want to be. You don't want to be, so you can see how this is breaking below. So if it's breaking below and snags you out, that's all right. So you have a losing trade there. So now this is to be a breakout, but we kind of missed it, So this is kind of like you don't want to fight anything. This is kind of a good example where where a level doesn't hold. Levels always hold. Especially, FOMC can be a little wonky, but price action can always look at that. See how it comes back down. Now I'm not saying that you want to always. I'm not ready just to jump back in just a minute. Let's kind of let this. We got 2 minutes here. Let's let this. Let's see what this candle does. So yeah, sometimes an area will obviously will break, and this could just fly up, and you might not get. And if it's on this candle, if it flies all the way up to the mid, I'm likely not going to do much with it. Now, if it breaks up, breaks down, then as long as I like to be trading near the GANN levels. So we got another minute and a couple minutes here. So. And then, the biggest thing is trading with the right size. So, with 1 or 2 micros, if you get snagged at a level, you can definitely recover that. And again, if you're the right size account with a regular size contract, you're fine too. But you can see, you can be down $200 pretty easily, and that's not. You just want to be careful, right? So risk is probably the biggest thing, but that's with all trading. So this is really, I think you see, look at this candle. See, that's where if you jump back in, that's kind of like the, when you're aggressive, you could have jumped back in at that 33, and you could have scalped up to that mid. So now that's the slight downside if you're waiting for a candle close, is this kind of scenario. We all know that, right? If you're a candle close trader, well then, your risk is going to increase, your confirmation increases, because now this is engulfing a little bit here. Let's see, we still have 45 seconds, so we'll just do a test here. You can see how, that's why I like the trade levels, as long as I don't overdo it. And with, again, depending on your risk tolerance. That's why I don't love taking a long right here. I don't mind being aggressive. You could have scalped right from this major to this mid. Now, again, since we're at a major GANN level, I'm definitely more, I wouldn't say aggressive, but I'm definitely eyeing this level more than if this price action was happening at a mid, or if this price action was happening at a main. I love, like I said, it came all the way back down. And likely it's because we're in kind of this chop type time of the day also, right? So if we went long, now look, we're just trying to scalp up to this mid. Got some nice price action holding, at least for now, right? So yeah, we lost in the one trade, and now, so this is kind of just the simple idea of, we know again where we want to be. Sometimes we get snagged, and then we wait for the candles either to close, or you get in as close to the level as possible, and again you're looking to scalp up to this mid-level. And a lot of times, like, that's your bread and butter trade, but often you will get a full GAN to GAN, depending on what you want to do. That's the beauty of GAN trading, is that it will, you can decide how you want it to do it. So that's kind of like the basic idea of trading with GAN. Again, it gives you, number one, the roadmap, so we know where, and then we know with price action when you can throw on a EMA, begin using more of an EMA as more of a momentum type of thing. I don't really love EMAs because they're lagging, obviously, but you can throw an EMA on there if you'd like to help you with the when part. And then now we have the structure in place on where to take profit and when to get in, and for break-even trade. And as you're watching this candle, if it breaks right through, then you're going to hold for this next level. So again, it kind of gives you, it's just an ultimate roadmap. That's really, you don't really need too much on your chart. Like, I've created way too many indicators just because I like doing it. But at the end of the day, you just need 3 simple things just to help with your confidence. And really, where is such a critical piece, because a lot of times we can get stuck in the middle, and most retail traders have no idea where they're at. I just know it because I used to do that. And when you have a structure, it gives you so much more confidence at this level. This level is a self-fulfilling prophecy. You just look left. Now you can draw your own lines, of course, but I'm very lazy and I like to have it automated. So yeah, you can certainly look up how to draw GAN lines, and there's millions of GAN indicators on there. Yeah, you can kind of notice. Now the biggest thing is managing, so you can reduce your risk a little bit. A lot of it is where, and then you get into kind of manage mode. So as you can see, you can be scalping off. You're already getting your take profit at the first level. So if you only have one, then you can certainly move it to break even. So then we'll see if we can bust through. And again, that's just a quick breakdown of how to trade GAN at a very basic level without any craziness and any astrology, pyramids, all that kind of stuff that people think of GAN. So anyway, take care. Thanks.